my dear students. So I am your Arka Sir. So as I already uploaded a video on the topic force and laws of motion, okay, of chapter 2 of class 9 basically, but these things are there in the earlier classes, junior classes as well as in class 11, okay. So all the things I will cover. First I will cover that exact content of class 9, clear. So keep watching my videos, it will be very much helpful for you, and the concept will be clear, and if your concept will be clear, your base will be very strong and you can easily crack the competing exams like NEET or JEE Main Advanced, because physics is the common in both the type of examination, whether you are going for medical or engineering, clear. So without further delay, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, then subscribe it as early as possible or just now, clear, before watching the video. So let us start. So today my topic will be the Newton's first law of motion, okay, or this is very important, okay. So as long as you will be there in touch with the academics, clear, you have to remember this law. There are 3 laws of motions are there. So today we will learn the first law of motion, okay, Newton's first law of motion, clear, and what we come to know from the laws of motion, clear, first law of motion, and the some of their practical applications, okay, some of their practical applications, okay. So what is first law of motion? Newton's first law of motion. In my previous episode, I have discussed about the state of rest, state of motion, the definition of force, okay, how many type of forces are there, their example, the unit of force, clear, the unit of force I have discussed, okay. Now let us start Newton's first law of motion. What the Newton's first law of motion? If first I am writing this, clear, then I will explain. If no external things, okay, in bracket you can write unbalanced force. What is unbalanced force? I already discussed. You can see my previous episode. If no external things or unbalanced force is applied, what I have written external things, because at that time the concept of force was not there, clear. So that's why I have written here, instead of force I have written here things. No external things is applied on an object, then the object which is at rest will be at rest forever, and which is in motion will maintain its motion in a straight line forever, okay. So that means what? If no external things is applied on an object, okay, then the object which is at rest will be at rest forever, and which is in motion will maintain its motion in a straight line forever, okay. So this is the first law of motion, or Newton's first law of motion. So suppose this is an object, clear, this is a marker. So if I keep here forever, then what is, and no force is applied on it, then what will happen? It will be in this condition, a state of rest forever, clear. Suppose cricket ball is moving on a ground. So no frictional force is there in between the surface of the ground and the ball, as well as the no gravitational force, no frictional force of air, no forces are applied, clear, on the ball. Then what will happen? It will continue its motion in a straight line forever, okay. So that is known as the Newton's first law of motion, okay. So student, I hope you have understood the Newton's first law of motion. So I am explaining it once again. If no external things is applied on a body, then the body or the object which is at rest will be at rest forever, and the body which is in motion will be in the motion condition forever, okay. will continue to its motion condition forever in a particular straight line. Clear? So this is the Newton's first law of motion. Now we have to discuss, I will discuss what we come to know from the Newton's first law. Okay. So this is the Newton's first law. So you can pause the video and you can copy the law. Okay. You can write it down in your copy. Okay. The first law of Newton. Okay. Or the first law of motion. Okay. Now Newton's first law of motion. Now what we come to know? Very important. What we come to know from the first law of motion. What we come to know from the first law of motion? What we come to know from the first law of motion? Clear? So we come to know two things from the first law of motion. Number one, property of inertia. Inertia, and number two, definition of force. Definition, property of inertia and definition of force. Clear? So this term is new. Inertia. Clear? This term is new for you. Inertia and the definition of force. Clear? So the property, the two things we come to know from the Newton's first law, the property of inertia and the definition of force. Now what is inertia? What is property of inertia? What is property of inertia? Clear? So what is property of inertia? Clear? Basically what I have told in Newton's first law of motion, that if nothing is applied from outside, no force is applied from outside, then the no unbalanced force is applied on any object, okay, from outside, then what will happen? The object which is at rest will be at rest condition forever, and the object which is in motion will continue its motion in a particular straight line forever. Okay. So that is the first law. We already learned that. Okay. Now the property due to which the body which is at rest will be at rest forever, or the body which is in motion will continue in its motion condition forever if no external force is applied on it. Clear? Unbalanced force is applied on it. So this property is known as property of inertia of that particular object. Okay. So the property due to which the object which is at rest will be at rest forever, and the object which is in motion will maintain its motion state forever if no external unbalanced force is applied on it. Okay. On it is known as property of inertia. Clear? Is known as property of inertia. Clear? So what is property of inertia? Clear? So the property due to which a body which is at rest will try to be at rest. Clear? And the body which is in motion will try to be in motion forever if no external unbalanced force is applied on it. Clear? So this property is known as property of inertia of that particular object. Clear? So this is known as property of inertia. So hope you have understood this, the property of inertia. Now how many type of property of inertia are there? Okay, how many type of property of inertia are there? How many type of property of inertia are there? There are two type of property of inertia. Okay, types of property of inertia. Clear? So how many type? Two type. Inertia of rest, and here inertia of motion. Inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Clear? So what do you mean by the inertia of rest? Very easy. Okay, the property due to which an object which is at rest will be at rest forever unless any external force is applied on it. Okay, so this is known as what? Property of rest. Okay, the property of an object due to which an object which is in motion will be in motion forever unless any unbalanced external force is applied on it. Okay, so what is inertia of rest and what is inertia of motion? Clear? So what is inertia of motion? If this is at rest, so if no unbalanced force is applied on it, it will be at rest forever. So this property is known as inertia of rest. Clear? If a ball is moving, if no unbalanced force is applied on a ball, then it will continue its motion forever. Clear? So that property is known as property of motion. Clear? Or inertia of motion. Clear? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Okay. So the practical examples of inertia of rest and inertia of motion. The practical examples of inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Suppose we are standing on a car, on a bus, okay, which is at rest. Clear? The bus is at rest and we are standing in a bus which is at rest. Suppose the bus starts moving, then what will happen? We will lean backwards. Okay, we will lean backwards. Why? Okay, we will lean backwards. Why? Okay, suppose the why we lean backwards while when we are standing inside a bus which was at rest and suddenly the bus starts moving. Okay, suddenly the bus starts moving. Clear? So what is that? Why we lean backwards? Okay, so suppose this is the bus this is the bus, and here suppose this is the passenger. Clear? The bus is the passenger. Now see, the bus is at rest. Okay, the bus is at rest. Now see, so when the bus is at rest, then what? The passenger inside the bus who is standing, he or she will also be at rest. Clear? Now suppose the bus starts moving. So what will happen? The leg is touching the floor of the bus, will start also moving with the bus. Clear? But the upper portion of the body, due to the property of rest, what will happen? Try to be at rest position. Clear? Because it was at rest, so it will try to be at rest position. Clear? So that's why, but the feet will move with the bus. Okay, that's why as a result, what we will feel? We will feel a force backwards. Okay, and we will lean backward side. Clear? Backward direction. Okay, so this is the reason. This is due to the inertia of rest. So what we will write? I am writing the answer. Okay, so you can copy that. When the bus is at rest, then the passenger, then the body of the passenger is also at rest. Now if the bus suddenly starts moving, then the foot of the passenger also starts moving with the bus, but due to the property of inertia of rest, the upper portion of the body of the passenger try to be at rest. So as a result, the passenger will experience a backward directional force and will lean backside. Basically this force is known as pseudo force. We cannot derive the pseudo force, clear, from Newton's law of motion. Okay, so that is a different concept. I will discuss that also, clear, later on. Now what is so this question is very popular questions in the examination, in the school examination also, clear. So suppose we are standing in a bus. Okay, the bus is at rest. Suppose the bus starts moving, we will lean backward, or we will experience the force at backward direction. Why? Because what? When the bus is standing, we are also standing, means the bus is at rest, we are also rest. Clear? In rest position. Now suppose the bus starts moving, so our leg that is touching the feet of the our feet that is touching the floor of the bus, that will also start moving along with the bus. Clear? But the upper portion of the body will, due to the property of inertia of rest, will try to be at rest position. Clear? So what will happen? It will lean, we will lean backward, or we will experience a force. Okay, that is known as pseudo force. Okay, in backward direction. Clear? So this is the reason why a passenger will lean at backward direction. Clear? Next, the other practical example of inertia of motion. Okay, so inertia of motion. Another practical examples of inertia of motion. So this is also, this question is also very important, and very often comes in the examination. Okay, very often comes in the examination. The why, suppose a passenger is standing, why standing passenger inside a bus will, inside a moving bus will lean front side if the bus stops suddenly. Okay, if the bus stops suddenly. Clear? Why a standing passenger inside a moving bus will lean front side, okay, if the bus stops suddenly. Clear? So I am drawing the diagrams again. So suppose this is the bus, clear, and this is the passenger, clear. So now the bus is moving, so as a whole what will happen? The passenger will also move with the bus, clear. Now suppose the bus suddenly give the brake and stop, then what will happen? Then due to the inertia, the bus will stop, clear. So what will happen? The leg that is touching the floor of the bus will also stop, but due to the inertia of motion, the upper portion of the body try to continue its motion, clear. So it will what? Will lean what? Forward direction, clear, or will experience the force that someone is pushing us, okay, in forward direction. That is also a pseudo force. Okay, so this is the reason. Okay, so that is due to the property of inertia of motion. Okay, so when, so write down the answer. When the bus is moving, then the passenger is also in moving condition with the bus. Now if the bus stops suddenly, then what will happen? Then the foot of the passenger also will be in rest condition with the bus, but due to the property of inertia of motion, the upper portion of our body will try to maintain its motion. So as a result, the passenger will lean front side and will experience a force in front direction. Okay, Experience the force in front direction. Clear? So why? So that is the answer of these questions. Clear? Now the last topic of today's episode, last but not the least, how we can get the definition of force from Newton's first law. Clear? Okay, students. Now what I told, two things we come to know. Number one, property of inertia, and number two is definition of force from Newton's first law of motion. Okay, so the definition of force, actually in the previous episode I have given the definition of force. Clear? Only you can add with that the force also can change the shape of an object. Clear? The state of the object can be changed, okay, or try to be changed, as well as the shape. Clear? Suppose a book is there, if I apply the force, then what will happen? The shape of the book will change. A piece of paper is there, if I apply the force, the shape of the piece of paper can be changed. So the shape can be also changed by applying the force. Okay, so you can add that, no problem. Okay, now how from the Newton's first law, what we know, that if we don't apply something from outside, then the body which is at rest will be at rest forever, the body which is in motion will be in motion condition, a straight line forever. Clear? That means to change the state of the body, we have to apply something from outside. Okay, that is nothing but the force. Okay, so what we can know, so from Newton's first law of motion, we come to know that to change the state of an object, we need to apply something from outside, otherwise the object which is at rest will be at rest forever, and the object which is in motion will be in motion through a straight line forever. That means to change the state of an object, rest or motion, we have to apply something from outside. It is known as force. So the external things which is applied from outside to change the state, that means object which is at rest will be in motion and the object which is which is in motion will be at rest. The state applied from outside to change the state of an object or try to change the state and shape. You can write shape, okay, but I change the state or shape of an object is known as force. Okay, so this is how we can define force, clear, from Newton's first law. So the first law says that if we don't apply something from outside, then the body which is at rest will be at rest, which is in motion will be in motion forever, clear. So that means what? To change the state of the object, we have to apply something from outside. That external thing or which we are applying from outside is nothing but the force. So that is the definition of force, clear, from Newton's first law. Clear to all of you? So I hope you have understood this, clear. So today's episode is very much easy. So we have learned the Newton's first law, and what we come to know from Newton's first law. We come to know two things. First one, the property of inertia and the definition of force. Property of inertia we already have learned. Two type of inertia there, inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and the practical examples of that, clear. So in the next video, okay, I will upload the second law of Newton and what we come to know and the concept of the momentum, clear, as well as I will discuss about the acceleration. What is acceleration, deceleration, unit of that, why 2 number of seconds are used in the unit of acceleration, everything in details, okay. So it will be a very effective video for you to understand the basic concept, because I deal with many type of students and I come to know I find that they don't have any basic knowledge of physics. That's why they face a real problem when they will be in class 11 or 12 or preparing for competitive exams like JEE mains or advanced or NEET, clear. So don't make that mistakes, okay, don't repeat that mistakes. That's why what you have to do, nothing, you have to study and you have to watch my channel and you have to clear your concept and ideas, clear. So my dear students, I hope this topic you have understood well. So keep watching and wait for my next video. Thank you.